Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Things We Dread podcast. I'm the B-Man, alongside my partner here, Bom'Chelle. Hey, Bom'Chelle, what's going on?
Hi, B-Man. How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm well. I'm doing well.
This is the inaugural podcast of the Things We Dread. Radio show, podcast, whatever you want to call this thing. Should be pretty interesting. Reason we put this together was because myself and Bom'Chelle equally love complaining.
I'm a master bitcher.
So I met her through roller derby, and we would watch, the roller derby skaters skating around, and we would just complain about things and bounce off each other. And we just decided that we had something going here. We both equally like to complain.
There's a bitching rapport.
So we decided, what the hell? Let's start a podcast. Mm-hmm. This way, we can listen to each other, but it's more fun to have people listen to us.
Right, and I enjoy listening to us again.
Yes, we can listen to it multiple times. So if you like the Things We Dread podcast, or if you just want to hear more of B-Man and Bom'Chelle, make sure you bookmark thingswedread.com. On there, every time we do a podcast, we're going to post it. We're also working on getting the podcast onto iTunes. It's already on some podcast players. You have to manually add the feed, though, which means like one of the ones I use is Downcast. You can manually add the podcast feed, at which point you type in thingswedread.com/feed, and then every time we have a new one, it'll automatically pop on your phone.
That's fantastic.
Think about that.
That's fantastic.
Every time we say something, it goes on your phone. You could hear our complaints.
Oh my God, this is like a dream.
Assuming anybody wants to listen to this, it is like a dream.
It is. It's like a dream.
So, a little bit about me. I'm the B-Man. I do advertising. I'm a roller derby announcer. I used to be a musician. I used to play the guitar in a band.
I wasn't aware of that.
Look to your right.
I know. I thought you were just one of those guys that collects guitars.
No, I was actually...
But doesn't know how to play them.
Nope, I do know how to play it. Probably not as well as I used to, but I used to be in a band called World's Demise. Used to be a hardcore band. And I was actually planning on doing that for a living.
Right.
But that kind of fell apart.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people saying that.
Really? That's not a unique story?
I planned on doing that for a living. And then it fell apart.
I totally did. It's great. But so that's a little bit about me. I like sunset strolls on the beach.
They're nice.
Complaining. Mm-hmm. I don't know what else I really like, but we're going to find out on this show. How about you? How about a little bit about Bom'Chelle?
I'm Bom'Chelle. We, like you said, we met through roller derby. I spend more time injured than actually skating, which is fine because it gives me more time to sit on the sidelines and bitch with you.
Exactly.
Which I enjoy.
And I'm certainly not going to skate.
No. Who actually wants to do that?
When I skate, I've put on skates a couple times, and when I skate, they say I look like Frankenstein with my hands out in front of me, kind of like wobbling around. So I'm better off on the sidelines.
I look like a bat out of hell.
Yeah?
Yeah. Flailing, splatting. I don't fall, I splat. Yeah.
Yep.
So, So my derby career may, for a long time, maybe inevitably, just be me bitching on the sidelines with you. Maybe a little reffing. I don't know. I don't know how much I want to get hit as I'm getting older and not recovering as quickly. I own a company called Bom'Chelle Bags, Etc. that I started in 2006, where I create, design, make, market, sell my own bags, jewelry, all kinds of stuff. Some origami. I'm a master origamiist.
Origami?
Yeah, I quit.
Is that a hot seller these days?
You would be amazed. I think it's because people see like an origami crane or a fish or something like that, and they automatically assume it came over on like a bamboo raft. Not that I'm sitting at my dining room table folding paper while bitching at my kids. It came here. It's so exotic.
You have to charge more for that.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I actually charge up the ass for it, and people still will pay it. But I quit smoking cigarettes, teaching myself origami.
How does that work?
I just kept myself busy with it. Because you can't really, it's like derby. You can, derby is therapeutic for a lot of people because your thoughts can't deviate from what you're doing.
Right.
Not for a second, or you fuck up. Or like me, you end up out of commission for several months at a time and with all new things to bitch about.
Right.
And your body not working. origami was kind of just replaced what I was doing with my hands besides smoking a cigarette. This was pre-texting. I probably would quit smoking by texting now. I still occasionally smoke when I drink, mostly to look cooler, I think. But
does it work? Or?
Yeah. I'm lucky. I have other faults, but one of them is not an addictive personality, so I don't really have... I can pick them up, leave them, whatever. But like I said, I own a company called Bom'Chelle Bags, etc. I owned a store at a craft village in New York called in Sugarloaf. That was Bom'Chelle Bags, etc. for a little while. Closed it up about a year and a half ago. I still do it online. I still do it through Etsy, all that stuff. What else about me? I'm a master bitcher. I'm a mother of 2. I have a teenage boy and a 9-year-old girl. 2 dogs and a cat and an iguana. If anybody wants that iguana, hit me up. You can have him.
You just get rid of iguanas.
You know what? I love him.
You just have to jettison some stuff and the iguana's next.
He's got to go. You know what happened was he did have the run of my house. When I was younger, pre-children, I used to have quite a few reptiles. Monitors, iguanas, geckos, skinks, all kinds of reptiles. And then I had my son. And I got rid of them all because a human baby is time consuming. So I did find good homes for everybody. And I got this iguana Max because I missed having a reptile. Got him like 6 years ago. He just doesn't get the attention he deserves. And now I have a German Shepherd puppy that is not going to allow this iguana to ever leave the cage again. And he used to have the run of my house. Like, for the most part, I'd leave his door open. He'd cruise around. He'd do his thing.
So you just had an iguana wandering around the house.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big boy,
That's bizarre.
Too. He's beautiful.
If I came over to a house and there was an iguana walking around, I would just walk out.
Listen, before I had...
I don't know what else is around the corner.
Before I had
like
my son, all my reptiles were not caged. So at one point,
there was snakes roaming around?
No, I don't like snakes.
Neither do I.
Not at all. But the reptiles would just kind of cruise around my house. And yeah, I had an electrician cry in my house because we had a 6-foot white-throat monitor, which is like a baby version of a Komodo dragon. And he was just cruising around. And
so you have just dragons wandering around your house, breathing fire.
Completely dog-tamed, adorable, but not to this little skinny Puerto Rican electrician who shrieked like a girl, ran out. I went outside to find him shaking by his truck. No lizard, no lizard.
No lizard?
Oh yeah, lizard. There's a lizard in there. Make it go. It doesn't go. It's his house. Then I go. Okay.
So I heard you mention that you had a store in Sugarloaf.
I did.
Now, that brings me up to a complaint. Complaint number 1.
All right.
My complaint number 1 is about Sugarloaf.
Oh, I have a lot of them.
I've never even been to Sugarloaf in New York. Apparently it's some kind of artsy kind of place.
It was at one point.
It was at one point.
Yeah.
What is it now?
It's desolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was sitting around and I was trying to kill some time and I grabbed one of those like free newspapers that they sit around like trying, and it was like the Sugarloaf News or some nonsense like that. So I pick it up and I start looking through it, and there's something about some jazz player, some glass blower. I don't know. It's like we're in medieval times, and I see an ad, and this is so random because I took a picture of the ad because I saw it, and it had to do with Sugarloaf, and the ad looked like a coupon. It had little dots around the ad itself, and it had a big wanted. Self-assured, egomaniacal artisan who knows they are the absolute best at what they do and exactly why to open studio in Sugarloaf, New York. Somebody to fit in. And that was the ad. What the hell does that ad mean?
That ad is
that
actually
ad
what
makes
made
me never want to go to
Sugarloaf.
Sugarloaf.
That ad is the reason I closed my store.
Really?
No. I closed my store because, honestly, there are no sidewalks there, and it is supposed to be like a... there's one parking lot, really. You park there and you're supposed to be able to walk around the village, and there isn't a fucking sidewalk. And for years and years and years, longer than I've given a shit, they couldn't make a decision between the town of Chester and the town of Sugarloaf, or the village of wherever, Art Village, whatever they call themselves. No one could decide who was responsible for the sidewalks. So they never got done.
Is that why they're hiring an egomaniacal artisan to
I
do
don't
sidewalks?
I don't know what idiot put that ad together,
What are they looking for? Like, whatever it is, I don't want to be there.
No.
And secondly, is somebody going to cut this coupon out and walk in and be like, I'm an egomaniacal artisan?
It actually says cut coupon.
It says cut the coupon. What do you do with this ad? Whoever would walk in with this ad, stay away from.
Walk in with that ad in the palm of your hand and slap that person in the face with it and walk out.
I'm self-assured egomaniacal artisan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Where do I set up my office?
Are they recruiting vendors or what is this? And it has a website, sugarloafguild.org.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know, but it's just totally random that you brought up you had a store in Sugarloaf, and I saw this coupon, and I was like amazed at the coupon and how ridiculous it was.
There are some really, really great people there, and I think that it really is about foot traffic, but I really think that it was worth the experience of meeting those people and figuring out what does not work.
Yeah.
Like, that clearly does not
I get a very
work.
hipster vibe from that. Like, you guys, like, whoever it is, the artisans are better than whoever's walking
Grab
in.
your coconut water and hop on your bike and come on down. And
put on your tightest jeans and your stupidest glasses and come on down to Sugarloaf.
Listen to the yeahs on your iPod and come on down.
Is that who hangs out there?
No.
No.
You know who hangs... You know what? Back in the 80s...
For some reason, I get a feeling old people hang out there.
They do. Back in the late 80s, when I was swinging with a mohawk and facial piercings and pre-Nirvana... and
so the same as right now?
Pretty much, yeah. There were a lot of genuine artists there, incredible musicians, and it was a nice town. It was Woodstocky, but without the it felt less retail than Woodstock. But it was a nice little arts and crafts village, and it just fell apart. Just politics of it made it fall apart. But they still advertise it like it's that, and it's not that. You're not going to walk through Sugarloaf and ever see some long-haired guy with an acoustic guitar on the side of the road. You're just not.
What are you going to see? An egomaniacal artisan?
Yeah, or like an anti-abortion sign or something in somebody's window, like something along those lines. Most of the town is dead. They put the Lyceum Theater in there. Great music, great stuff like that, but not a lot of egomaniacal fuckwads.
I could not believe it when I saw this.
Selling their wares.
I had to take a picture. I'm like, I read it 5 times.
That's fantastic.
And
what was it in?
It was in like the Sugarloaf News or something like that.
Dicks.
I saw it in one of those like
no
free. Because I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go to Sugarloaf. So I picked this up. I'm like, what goes on there?
Yeah.
And I saw that ad, and I'm like, whatever goes on there, I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah. I also recently, a friend of mine from Derby got into an extracurricular that I'm also interested in that's legal. And I'm just going to name it. She's doing this aerial yoga thing.
Oh, aerial yoga.
Fucking fantastic. It sounds awesome.
I've seen some of the pictures on Facebook.
Yeah. It sounds awesome. So in doing that, I've been researching. I used to do a little bit of yoga. I mostly need to hit things and kick things to get...
Aerial yoga doesn't seem like the right activity
No,
for that.
but you know what? Anything that leaves me exhausted is what I need. Like I need like a dog. Like a German Shepherd.
You need somebody to walk
You want a good German Shepherd? Run that little fucker into the ground every day. I take him running with me on the Heritage Trail. I have to, or he'll eat everything. He ate my daughter's sock. He shit out a whole sock. It still had little cupcake patterns on it.
Did you try washing it so you could reuse it? Or
no. My daughter was like, we're not keeping that, are we? I'm like,
if a dog shit out my sock, I would have to try to wash it and wear it.
It was awesome. It was
in
my yard.
Sock.
It was in my yard. It was great. I need to be wore out from something, and yoga relaxes me or tries to relax me. It really just makes me feel uncomfortable. But this aerial yoga seems good for me because there's no resting. So your body is constantly holding itself. There's no real resting position. Anyway, I started researching like yoga. My boyfriend does something called Ashtanga yoga, which is a little bit more hardcore. It's a little more exhausting. It's a lot of strength. It's all strength yoga. It's not about Ashtanga Vinyasa. Yeah.
Sounds German.
I think it's Indian. Same difference. Who cares? It's not American yoga. It's better than that. So I started looking like yoga in my area, which is Monroe. A couple different things came up, and I ended up on a couple different sites. I'd like to start getting back in a little bit more physical. Winter's coming. I put on my winter layer, and I'd like to try to avoid doing that this year. So I'm looking into some stuff. And I was really just on the toilet with my phone, and I ended up wandering onto yoga sites. That's honestly what happened. So one of the yoga sites I was on, their way of marketing themselves was like, we are so much trendier than all the other yoga that there was actual, like, I'm a potty mouth. You know I love the swear words. There were swear words.
In the ad?
Yeah.
That is semi-genius.
You know what? To me, who loves the swear words, I was like...
You were aghast.
I was like, the fuck is wrong with them? Why would they swear on their ads? They did. And basically are targeting women that would be like derby women.
Oh, yeah?
Like, just, you could tell just by the way that they were, like,
so
I don't know.
which one was this for? This was for the aerial yoga?
No, this wasn't for aerial yoga. It was for another yoga that's in Orange County.
Oh, yeah.
That I don't want to talk shit about them because I might actually go there still.
You don't want them to give you the stink eye when you get in there?
No, I don't need that. But, yeah, there was swearing and there
was... Are you Bom'Chelle from the Things We Dread podcast? We heard you talking shit about us.
And then I'd have to be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I love your fucking ads. They're so awesome. It was along that lines. Like, I don't know what these people in Sugarloaf are looking for. What kind of dicks. Like, all douchebags come rent out
That's
a
what it seemed like to me.
Yeah. Are you a douche? Do you love coconut water? Come rent out a space in Sugarloaf.
It was amazing. The best part about the whole ad, though, is that it's a coupon. Like, you're going to cut out the coupon and be like...
But it's a coupon for nothing.
But it says cut coupon around it.
For nothing.
I'm going to cut this coupon out and bring it into Sugarloaf.
Yeah.
Who do I bring it to?
The Guild.
Guild?
Go to the Guild.
It's like Harry Potter or Lords of the Rings.
Where's Dumbledore? I have this coupon that proves I'm a fucking douchebag.
I have a coupon that says that I'm a self-assured, egomaniacal artisan who knows I am the absolute best. Ridiculous.
Holy shit.
Where do these people come from?
Not marketing school.
No, definitely not. So what's going on? What's going on in life?
I had an experience recently. I don't know if it makes me feel old or out of touch or better than other people. Maybe all of them. I went to like a gathering. I don't really call it a party because I'm middle-aged, so I don't go to... I don't party like I used to.
Oh, no?
Well,
that means your pants stay on?
Yes. I party, but I don't party like that. I went to a party, and while I was at this party, and these are people that I know, smart, successful people that I have I have functional relationships and conversations with on a one-on-one basis, and I got them into a group. And I didn't get him into a group. Somebody else got him into a group, and I happened to be part of that group. And while we were sitting there... Is it a guild? It was like a guild. A guild of douches is actually...
a gaggle of douches?
Yeah, you're going to realize it was a kill of dicks. While we were all sitting around bullshitting, and I look forward to these conversations with people, because I usually, you can learn something about somebody, and... despite my outward appearance, I do like to get to know people. I like to forge relationships with people that have some sort of substance to them. It's not fucking happening at this guild. No. Everybody pulled their iPhones out. I have an iPhone. I'm a fan of it. And I hope to God I'm not guilty of ever doing this to somebody. But while sitting at this gathering around a table, we're all, having some cocktails and doing our thing, I realized that I was myself and 3 or 4 other individuals who were not as phone obsessed. I love my phone, but I'm not phone obsessed. And sometimes
I'm somewhat phone obsessed.
Do you feel relieved sometimes though when you just can't use it? Like, yeah. I went to Aruba and there was There was no service
I just went to the Bahamas, and I purposely shut my phone off.
Great.
Didn't put it back on. It was fantastic. I didn't even miss it.
It's great.
I mean, when I got back and put it on, I kind of missed it, but
yeah, and then,
I didn't miss it the whole time.
I missed everything.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. Well, it's not great when you're sitting in a room full of people that you consider your peers and your friends, and they are all having like, all right, so we are party A, which is the individuals that are actually physically present in the room, which I thought that, was going to be enjoyable enough. For 80% of these people, it was not enough. They began like all right, so let's say that the people present were party B.
So you're in party B.
Yeah.
You're present.
We're physically, we are present. We are not participating in party C, which party A is participating.
So party A is the people with the phones.
Yes.
Party B is you and your non-phone obsessed friends.
Party A is still also part of party B. But they've
There's
also
a lot of parties going on at the same time.
I mean, you would think it would have been a fucking hoot. It really wasn't. Party A was a hoot for them. They were part of party B, which included myself and a couple other individuals that have manners. And then there was party C. Party C was the cyber party that was going on at the same time, which apparently was the play-by-play of the party that I was also attending, which was not nearly as fucking awesome as I read about on Facebook the next morning.
So there was a more awesome party going on at Facebook with the same people that were at party A.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And I ended up leaving. I'm an Irish goodbyer usually anyway, but there's like a couple individuals that I'll always acknowledge when I'm leaving and let them know that I go, because I could, me being me, I could end up like, oh, you left last night. What happened? Well, I went out to check your mail and, a fucking carload of people drove by and I ended up leaving and I don't know where I am now. That could happen to me. So instead of letting people worry about where I am, I let a couple people know that I'm leaving, usually from this particular group of people. I didn't. I literally got up, I looked at the guy next to me who was part of party B, which were the losers that were sitting there wondering what was going on so fucking awesomely in these iPhones. But it never dawned on me to pick up my own phone and participate in this. Because it seems
you weren't invited.
I wasn't invited. And there were private jokes going on Facebook. These private jokes were about the party that I was fucking at, and I didn't even know these jokes.
So did they collaborate? How did they know to have this extra party? Was there like a Facebook invite?
No, it just happened. It was a serendipitous, like, we're about to party everywhere. We're partying here. We're partying on Facebook. We're fucking partying on Instagram. We got to party
online for posterity.
Yeah. We're going to party on Instagram. They were everywhere. I left aggravated because, I believe it or not, you know me a little bit. We go way, way back now.
Oh, yeah.
It shocks people a lot that one of my pet peeves is people that do not have manners.
Considering how clean of a language you use.
What a fucking heathen I am. I've raised my children, sadly, very differently.
You have all these tattoos. You should get a tattoo that says "manners, bitch."
You know what? That's not a fucking bad idea. And I might do that. I'm going to find a manners quote, and I'm going to get that shit on me.
You need to juxtapose the manners and the cursing. Manners, bitch.
Motherfucking manners. Yeah, manners are a big deal to me. I raise my children that, you have to use your manners. Whether you want to or not, you swallow it and you fucking deal with it. And manners will really take you farther than pretty much anything else.
It's true.
You could take a complete dumbass, and if they have manners and they know the right thing to say and they look you in the eye and they're confident and they acknowledge your presence at all times and make you feel like you exist in their presence, you will give a shit about them more than somebody who has twice the intelligence that's a douchebag.
It's true.
So I left disheartened because I felt like, fuck, these people aren't dicks, and they're clearly acting like dicks. And then had another experience with the same group.
So what was going on the online party?
just a lot of like what you would assume happens on Facebook anyway. It's all of it's fucking bullshit. All of it's like, yeah, I guess it was pretty okay, but let me put glitter on it and a cape and make it look like it was fucking awesome, so you wish you were there too.
But if you were there, you would be
if you were
a
there,
lame
you
party.
would have been me in the corner going, "What the fuck are these people doing?"
You should have went online and asked them about the party.
Hey,
I was at this party. Wasn't that great?
Where is this?
Blow
party?
up their spot.
Where is this freaking party? And then you have other people that they're friends with on Facebook that are not at this party, that are now participants in the party. They're part of the entertainment. Like, everybody kind of, especially in this group of people, everybody is an entertainer in their own way.
Oh yeah.
So they're pulling in they're pulling in exterior entertainers from the cyber world when they have other people that they're excluding sitting right there. So I looked to the guy that was sitting to my right, who's an old friend of mine, who had the same face on as me, which was disgust and resentment. And I said, I can't. I'm out of here. And he's like, oh, I don't blame you. And I left. I just walked out there. I didn't even say goodbye to my normal people that I say goodbye to. I just got up and left because I couldn't. It was rude to me. In hindsight, I now realize that it may have been less about the phones, more about the manners.
Yeah. You just like manners.
I do. I felt disrespected. It felt like what I imagined a jerk-off party is.
You'd mentioned this to me before.
I still don't believe you, and I've asked about 11 men about this, because on my way home when I was fuming and I had nobody to vent to, I vent to myself, and I thought it was like being at a freaking high school whack-off party where everybody's under their own cloak, their own knitted grandma blanket, jerking off to the same porno. But
for some reason, Bom'Chelle thinks that this actually happens. If it does, I've never been privy to it, thank goodness.
No, I think that you probably over a cauldron with other men holding your knitted jerk-off blankets over your shoulders.
Does everybody jerk off into the cauldron? It's like a guild?
No, that's hazing. That's like a hazing. No, I mean, I've always lived my life believing, and I still believe it. Like the way boys grow up believing that girls have pillow fights and panties, and that we tickle each other and accidentally kiss. That doesn't
happen?
Not always.
Oh, not always. But sometimes.
Not always.
Maybe there's sometimes jerk-off parties, but still, I've never heard of this before.
I swear to you that I've believed my whole life, and I want to feel like other people also believe this.
If you guys that are listening, if anybody decides to listen, have ever heard of a jerk-off party or participated in one, you should comment on this blog post and let us know about your jerk-off party experience, because I've never heard of it before Bom'Chelle's brought it up.
I don't believe it. I think that it's like a
Who
Mason.
told you this?
It's like a Mason's thing. Like you guys have all these little secret things.
Does it only happen once, or is it like a monthly gathering?
How the fuck should I know? If I was a guy at jerk-off parties, I'd have one every Friday.
Why wouldn't you just stay home?
I don't know. Because it's like a, hey guys, let's get together. We'll all watch the same porn. We're all at the same party, but we got our cloaks over us, and we're gonna enjoy this privately.
Not only would I find it creepy if I got invited to one of these parties, but if somebody mentioned that we had to bring our cloaks, I would certainly not show up.
A cloak is really just a fancy name for a blanket. Bring your own blankie. I call them gangas. I don't know why. I've always called my blanket a ganga. Always.
Yeah.
And it's just my blanket. Like my kids' blankets are not called gangas.
Only your blanket is a ganga.
Yeah. It's usually like the couch.
So
blanket.
like if you were to let's say go to a hotel and
or jerk-off party,
you need an extra blanket, you would say I need a ganga.
No, it's my actual
only your blanket,
personal blanket. Like if I said to my kids, "Where's my ganga?" It's one blanket. It's one black blanket.
It's always the same one?
Yeah.
It never gets worn out?
No. I've had the same ganga now for years and years and years. I don't know why I call it that.
If you got a new blanket, would you name it something else?
No. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I would use my ganga as my whack-off cloak. If I were a teenage boy at a whack-off party that you're denying exists. And I know it does. But that was my comparison.
That brings me to a topic: phones. So you don't like people interrupting you with the phones and all this. But what I don't understand is, like, when you go to a store, why is it that the phone takes priority over the person? So, for instance, you go to get some pizza. You go to the pizza place. Walk in, you're ready to order your slice, maybe your chicken and bacon ranch slice.
Right.
Maybe that, a Diet Coke, something like that. Because the Diet Coke makes it better. But you're just about to order. They're like, oh, sir, can I take your... Bring! Phone rings. Right. All of a sudden, your order is not important anymore.
Fuck off.
Now,
fuck off.
They pick the phone up.
Right.
Why is it that the phone gets picked up before my order? I'm standing in front of you. You are guaranteed to make money off of my order. I'm sitting here right now.
I'm already
ready to spend
there.
money. I want a piece of pizza, some bacon, potato ranch pizza or something like that. They pick up the phone. Sir, they could take a 20-minute phone call. They don't care that I'm standing right there.
No. Your zipper's halfway down. You're almost in it. You're ready to pay. You're ready. And they answer the phone. I think, again, it goes back to manners. We have developed...
But why does the person on the phone get manners and I don't?
We've developed a society where our needs and our wants are expected to be answered instantaneously. And when they're not, we feel slighted. So you're already standing there. You can already see this guy.
I'm feeling slighted.
Who gives a shit?
But I'm standing right in front of you.
I know. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? This person on the phone, you don't want to hurt those feelings.
Same thing happened to me at a travel agency. Went to a travel agency. Everybody's on the phone. I walk in, which, all right, I guess they were on the phone before I walked in. I could wait.
Right.
They put down the phone. They wander around. Nobody greets me. Finally, 10 minutes afterwards, when I'm sitting there waiting around getting annoyed, somebody comes up to me, goes, oh, can we help you? And I go, yeah, I'm looking to go on a vacation. You know, I'll spend money on a vacation, whatever. Sit down. Phone rings. Good morning. Travel agency. Take a phone call.
Why can't it go to voicemail?
Exactly.
Now, why
can't they hire somebody to pick up the phone?
Now, I'm notorious for not answering my phone.
Mm.
I just don't do it. Don't put me on the spot. Don't call me and think that in the middle of the day, 2:30 in the afternoon on a Thursday, I don't have shit to do. So you're going to call me and I'm just going to pick up the phone and we're going to fucking chit-chat about whatever it was that was on your mind. I got shit to do. I don't. I'm looking at my phone.
You got nothing to do.
I don't. I'm not doing shit. I look at my phone.
You're just watching it ring.
But I look at my phone. I'm like, this motherfucker thinks I'm not doing anything. And I'm not. I'm sitting on my couch. I'm sitting in the yard with my dog. I'm not doing shit. So I'll let it go to voicemail. And another thing that I do not ever do, I don't ever listen to my voicemails. Ever.
Never?
No.
What happens if, like, you didn't know the number, but, like, you won the lottery somehow? How would you know?
They call me back. They text me. They do something, right? They
you think the lottery's going to text you?
I don't know. Are they going to call me? Where'd they get my number?
I don't know.
And
you
that's
didn't even
another
play the
thing.
damn lotto.
Where the fuck did you get my number from that you're calling me? If I don't know the number, then I'm outraged. And I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. I do occasionally. I will answer the phone occasionally, but really not. Like, if I answer the phone, usually the person on the receiving end is like, holy shit, you answered the phone. Or it's an accident. I accidentally hit it. I freak out and hit the answer button. I'm like, fuck, now I have to talk to this person. This is a funny story. That doesn't have anything to do with this. The other day, my phone rings. Now, this has happened to me twice in 2 days. It happened to me again this morning with a phone call from my son's cell phone number. So yesterday, my phone blows up, and it says that it's from Sean, my boyfriend. So his smiling little face comes up, and I'm delighted, and I answer the phone, and I say, hey, babe. And this woman says, who is this? Now, can you even imagine?
Yep.
Can you even
imagine? What is going on here?
Literally, if you could take a picture of it. What is it? What are those heat things they use for ultrasounds and stuff? You would have seen the fucking red fire from my feet to the top of my fucking head.
It's like he's living a double life.
I was like, somebody's gonna die. Who is this? I said,
Who is this?
The fuck is this? You know I'm not just gonna say who's this. You call some woman's voice is on my boyfriend's phone. You out of your mind? I said, who the fuck is this? She said, well, who is this? Who are you?
Is this a game of chicken?
Yeah, I'm like, listen, you're calling me from my boyfriend's phone? Who the fuck are you? And then I got all, psychotic on her. My head was swinging. My hand was in the air. I was holding my phone out like it was a microphone. You called me on my fucking number and you're going to ask me who the fuck I am? Who the fuck are you? This lady's like, I'm Lynn. Who the hell is Lynn? And then she hangs up. Oh, it's on.
Like Donkey Kong.
I cracked my knuckles, pulled my sleeves up. I'm ready. I don't even know what I'm ready for. Somebody's going to fucking die. So my phone rings again. It's Sean. I'm like, I answer the phone now. There's no, hey, baby.
It's a stranger found my phone.
Yeah. There's no hey,
what's the
baby now.
Here?
I'm like, yeah. He's like, what's up? I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you tell me what's up? I don't even know where it's going to go. Right? Why don't you tell me what's up? He's like, did you just hear that? And I'm like, did I just hear what? Tell me what you think I just heard. Because now I think I'm going to catch him in something, right?
You see, it's a setup.
It's a setup. I'm going to get him to tell me something without knowing if I actually know anything by making him think I know stuff.
This is quite the plan.
I've been married twice. It doesn't work.
You sound like an egomaniacal artisan.
I am. So he's like, did you hear that guy? No. What did he say? He's like, that guy going, Lynn, can you hear me? Lynn. I'm like, no, because Lynn called me. Who the fuck is Lynn? So it was like a weird, he was calling me and it like crossed cell lines or something. So I was
So that's the excuse nowadays.
I was hearing one side of the conversation. He was hearing the other side of the conversation. Now the man part of this conversation went like this. Lynn, what the hell are you doing? Lynn, I can't hear you. And Sean said, hey, man, who's Lynn? Who is this? I'm just a guy trying to make a call to my girl, man. These daggone cell phones.
What company is this that you use? Do they have manual operators plugging the lines into the walls?
I don't know. One ringy dingy. What was it? Saturday Night Live? A two ringy dingy. So
Hold on, we'll connect your call.
That was the man side of the conversation. These daggone cell phones. You have a good day. All right, man. You have a good day too. All right. Peace out. Now, me and this woman are like, who the fuck are you? I don't. You fucking ask me who I am. Like, we're ready to throw down. These guys are like, whatever. Something must have went awry. I'm like, this motherfucker has a kid with someone else. And there's a woman calling me from his phone. I had a whole life pictured. This whole other double life. And I'm sure she did too. I can't even imagine what this poor guy got from this woman, because I was not nice. At least she was like, I'm Lynn, who is this? I was like, saving asshole, that's who I am. So yeah, I was a douchebag. But then this morning my son's number calls me, and some guy's on there, and he's like, hey, can I speak to Jason? I'm like, you can, but this isn't his phone. And he's like, excuse me? And
I want to invite him to the jerk-off party.
Yeah. I'd like to know if you'd like to group whack off with us while watching the Ladies in Lace.
Bring your cloak.
Bring your cloak. Bring your ganga. So that's
what are you using? Like Sprint or something? Or Nextel?
What do I have?
You must have a prepaid phone.
No. Prepaid phone. I'm on welfare. Prepaid phone.
You have an Obama phone.
I have an Obama phone. I have Sprint.
Oh yeah.
And Sean has AT&T.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So there's things are going awry in one of those companies.
AT&T is not a good cell phone company. If I were him, I'd cancel my contract right now.
Yeah.
I originally had Verizon.
I did too.
Then the iPhone came out, and I could not resist the iPhone, and I decided to go with AT&T.
Yep.
So I go with AT&T. I try. One of my friends actually lent me their phone to see how the service was up in this area, so that I could see if the internet works, the phone works, blah blah blah. So I did my due diligence here. Borrowed this phone, drive up to where I live in Orange County, New York. And I decided I'm going to get the iPhone. I'm sick of my little Razor flip, because I was like one of the last people to get like a smartphone. I didn't have a smartphone for a long time. So I buy an AT&T iPhone. I wasn't crazy about going to AT&T, but listen, they're the only ones with the iPhone at the time. So I get the phone, and all is well for a couple of weeks. All of a sudden, there ceases to be service anywhere in the foreseeable area of where I live.
Yeah.
So I can't make phone calls from my house. The internet's terrible. Anywhere from my office to my house doesn't have reception. Constantly dropping out phone calls. So I contact AT&T, and they basically say, we have a coverage map. You should know what the coverage is like.
Right.
So I say, I tried out somebody's phone. I had my 2-week trial period. It was fine.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, the service stops working.
This is Orange County, New York. It's not like you live in fucking...
I live an hour from New York City.
Yeah.
And these guys, they're like, oh, well, you should look at the coverage map. I did look at the coverage map. It was fine. Now it stopped working. Couldn't be.
Yeah.
Couldn't be. So this is usually what happens with me in customer service when I get on the phone. Because these days, it's not even worth getting on the phone with these guys because they're not going to do anything for you.
No.
So what I like to do is attack online. So you may have seen some of my
I did.
my Facebook and Twitter posts
Your
regarding
handiwork.
Subaru, which will come for another episode coming sometime soon. I could do a whole episode on Subaru. Don't even get me started. But AT&T, back to the story. I decided at the time to hit up AT&T a couple times online and complain about their terrible service. They ignored me. They didn't want to do anything for me.
Mistake number 2.
Yeah, they ignored me.
Right.
So I decided to code up a little bot that every 10 minutes bitched out AT&T on Twitter. With random things that I had to say about AT&T and how horrible their service was, blah, blah, blah. So they decided that at that point, because when I called up pleasantly asking about my service and getting it fixed, they didn't want to do anything for me.
Then you had to pull out the
Once I set up the Hustler bot, AT&T bot, to beat them up online, all of a sudden it's like, we would like to get the office of the president in touch with you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Now you want to get...
We would like you to come to our jerk-off party.
We'd like you to join the AT&T guild.
You are cordially invited to whack off.
So I set up this bot, and they're like, oh, we're going to do anything we need to do for you. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So service still isn't better. I start beating them up online a little more, because this is usually my game plan. It usually works.
Right.
So office of the president gets a hold of me again. It's like, I need you to stop talking about AT&T online. We don't like this.
Right. Is that really what they said, or it's essentially...
Well, essentially, that's like pretty much we need you to stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I need cell phone service.
Make me stop. Yeah.
I don't want to be tweeting about you.
Right.
What I want is a cell phone that works.
I want to be texting about, a party.
Yeah, I want to be texting. I want to be sitting at a party and able to text and be part of party B or C or whichever party that was. So they say, we're going to have Joe get in touch with you, whoever this guy is. I'm like, who's Joe? They're like, he's your lead tech in the area. I'm like, okay. That sounds like a compromise if he's going to fix this. So Joe calls me and I say...
Lead tech. He's got to know what he's doing.
I say, Joe, who are you? He's like, I'm the lead tech in your area. So I say, well, what are you going to do for me? He's like, well, I'm going to go out to the cell phone tower and I'm going to adjust it and you're going to tell me if the service gets any better.
What?
So now I'm getting a personal tech that climbs up the tower and tweaks the cell phone tower.
And tweaks the rabbit ears.
Because when I called up, they couldn't do anything for me. But when I beat them up online, all of a sudden, I have my own personal tech.
Right. So they're up there rapping Reynolds rap.
So they're putting them aluminum foil, and he's like, only 5 people could be on the phone at the same time on this cell tower. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
So he basically tells me that only 5 people could be on this cell phone tower. So anytime I have a problem, I have to keep calling this Joe guy to go adjust the tower for me.
Right.
Because I have my own personal concierge Joe guy. Never works. They end up giving me my own personal antenna for the house.
Shut up.
They come to my house, hook up a personal antenna for me. All because I complained about them online.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Because you have to make a stink these days.
Absolutely.
You gotta be the cog in the wheel.
Yeah.
To get any kind of service.
Yeah. And that's kind of fucked up a little bit. I mean, not for you. It worked out for you.
Yeah, it usually does.
But for the douche down the road, that's like, why doesn't A&T work?
Whoever's the loudest nowadays is the one that's heard.
The squeaky wheel, yeah. Always. It always is. And it's not because they want to please you. It's because they want you to shut up.
Exactly.
They don't want you to be happy. They just want you to be quiet.
Exactly.
Like your little Subaru stint.
Exactly. That's why I'm a little loud about the Subaru.
Nah, you know what?
And I haven't even ramped this up yet. I haven't even begun.
Oh my God.
Anybody that knows me or follows me on Facebook knows I'm having problems with my Subaru, but I'm not even going to go into it tonight.
It's fascinating.
I would not buy a Subaru if I were you.
No, it's fascinating.
And talk about hipsters that run a company.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I used to work for a furniture company, and when we would see a Subaru come in, we worked on like the 1-up system. Like we took turns greeting customers. We worked on commission and whatever. It was a bullshit job. It was very short lived because I don't really like people enough to want to talk them into fucking selling them shit.
How do you sell a couch? This is a great couch. It's going to last you for years.
Who gives a shit?
Look at these features.
I mean, do they really care? They don't. And I don't like the idea of talking somebody into buying something that they don't actually want. I'm not that kind of shopper. I genuinely know what it is I want when I go into the store, and if you don't have it, I'm going to walk out. You're not going to talk me into something. For the most part, I tell salespeople immediately to fuck off when they come near me. I'm polite about it. Is that the exact words? I'm very polite about it.
Listen, I'm very polite, but just fuck off.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I may have actually used the words fuck off on salespeople, but I know they could take it. They look like you.
What do I look like?
You look like you work in a store, and you could take a fuck off.
I was talking about this before, but all of a sudden lately, anytime I go into a retail store, the people that are shopping in the retail store think I work there. And listen, I don't look like I'd be hired by any retail store.
No, you're this new. You're ahead of your time, obviously.
I always am.
But you're this new, trendy-looking, hipstery kind of...
I don't think I'm a hipster. I think you're insulting me now.
No, I'm not saying you are a hipster.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying hipsters want to look like you.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like homeless chic. Why would they want to look like me? If you saw me walking down the street, you'd be like, does that guy have a home?
No. If I saw you walking down the street, I'd be like, that's the guy from the Black Crows.
I hate that.
That's what I would think.
Oh man, you got to look up the guy from the Black Crows. He doesn't have the same luscious locks as mine. So I was in Costco maybe 2 weeks ago with my wife, and I'm walking around, looking down the aisles, like kind of just shopping around, looking what's going on. And I've had a ripped luggage for quite a while. My luggage is all ripped. We go places, it gets ripped. I don't know. So I see this nice luggage bag there, a piece of luggage. I don't know what you call it, a luggage bag and luxury. I don't know. So it's pretty cool because it stands up and it has shelves in it, and I'm like amazed by this. I'm like, there's shelves in the luggage.
I've never even heard of it.
I've never seen anything like this. And
I design and make bags for a living. I have never fucking heard of that.
They kind of it's like a flap. It comes up and then it like buttons onto the sides, and it like becomes shelves in this like kind of fat looking luggage bag. So I say to my wife, I'm like, this luggage has shelves in it. Yeah. And she's like, who cares? Right? So I'm like, but I don't think you understand. There's shelves in the luggage. You can pull the luggage into your hotel room, open it up, and you never have to take anything out. It's already in a shelf.
Yeah.
And she's like, so she's not very excited about this.
She didn't see the glamour.
But all of a sudden, a gaggle of Asians come up to me. Like, I'm talking a gaggle. Like, it seemed like an Asian family. I don't know if they were displaced from Asia or what was going on, because they were shopping for luggage. I don't know if they were going back home or what they were doing.
Were they near the Woodbury Commons?
No, this was in Rockland County.
All right.
So they go, in a very broken English, they're like, is this good bag? And I'm like, I don't know if that was Pakistani or Asian, but whatever. So I'm like, I guess, you know.
Is this a good bag?
Right.
Not easy.
So I don't even know what to say at this point. So they're like, is it in stock? They ask me. But in an Asian accent, you know, we're very hard to understand.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm just kind of like being semi-nice at this point still. And like, I look up and I like see it because they stack everything on the shelves there. I'm like, yeah, it's in stock. They go, what's the return policy?
Did you give it to them?
Oh, yeah. So now I'm like, well, you can return anything you want. They're like, even if we use it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give you double your money back if you use it and return it.
Absolutely. So they're like, oh, well, do you have this one in stock? And now, like, I'm starting to laugh because this is going on for way too long.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, am I committed to this? Like, am I really going to help these people shop at Costco? Or
I'm surprised your wife let you take it that far.
Oh, no. She was standing there quite embarrassed. And they're asking me all kinds of questions.
Right.
And I can't figure out how to get out of this. Like, now I'm their personal shopper, right?
Right.
So they go, okay, do you have like whatever this is in inventory? And I'm like, let me go look.
Shut up. Did you really?
So this was my out. So all I did was, I'm like, let me go look. Take my wife, walk through the store.
We're getting the fuck out of here. Babe, leave the cart and just run.
Anytime I talk to her about the story, she's like, they're probably still sitting there waiting for you to come back. But this happens every time I go into a store now. Like, they think I work there.
Have you ever worked in retail? Like
Never.
In a retail store? No, I have off and on for years and years. And I have a couple of awesome stories. Speaking of like foreigners and, you know, people traveling from abroad, I worked in a store, a higher end store in the premium outdoor outlets, the Woodbury Commons.
Premium.
Yes, and it was morning time. There were no customers in the store. I worked with a couple girlfriends of mine. You know, we always had a good time. And a woman was in. She was some kind of Slavic, but I'm not sure what. But obviously, like a Slavic.
Yeah.
She went into the dressing room. She had a couple of shirts, whatever. I let her in. She came out. Oh, no. She didn't want any of the clothes that were in there. So it's my job
to go put them back on the rack?
Go in, get them, put them on the rack. I go in there. What the fuck did this lady do?
What happened?
She pissed on a carpeted dressing room floor.
She thought it was the bathroom?
How do you think that's the bathroom? And I had somebody say that to me. Because I was fucking outraged. I wanted to beat the shit out of this woman. I wanted to be like, lock the door.
Pop a squat?
Yeah. Up against the wall. It was on the wall.
Is there a video camera in there?
Not in the dressing rooms.
Because this would be a hot YouTube video.
It would be awesome. Because somewhere some guy's like, piss on the rug. Like loving it at a jerk off
party. Do you think she was dared to do this?
No. She was by herself.
Did she say, I'm looking for the dressing room or I'm looking for the bathroom?
She said, try on? Okay. That means I'm going to try this on. Not I'm about to go in and fucking...
take a piss.
Empty my bladder on the carpet. So she's out, right? And she's all like smiles. Oh, no. She doesn't want him. Okay, I'll go get him. I'll put him back. So I go in there. There's piss on the floor. And it smells like straight up like asparagus piss. It's not even like a piss that I could be like, let me just throw some paper towels in this and pretend I didn't see it so we don't have to get all fucking out of control about... Fumigate, do some crazy shit. I don't want to have to hazmat anything.
I would put the next customer right in there.
Sop that up and call it a day. No. It's asparagus piss. And it's on the wall. It's, you know, and she's just like...
How'd she piss on the wall?
I don't know.
Is it like when you put like your thumb on the end of a hose?
Yeah. She thumb pissed on the wall of Calvin Klein.
It's coming out the top of the dressing room. She just sat back on that little chair, just thumb pissing.
I really, really wanted to be like, lock the door. She was the only customer in the store we just opened.
You're cleaning this up.
In there. What the fuck is wrong with you? Rubber face in it like a dog. This is America.
This is bad. Hit them with a newspaper.
Hit her with a paper. This is America. We don't
America.
Do this. America. Fuck yeah. We don't do this. We don't piss in dressing rooms. And I had somebody say to me, you know, maybe she thought that it was the restroom. You have flown from wherever you've flown from, made it to the Woodbury Commons. You're trying garments on in the dressing room, 10 o'clock in the morning as soon as we open up. At no point in your travels did you see a fucking toilet and go, oh, this is how they do shit here.
Did she save it up like it was her morning piss?
Yeah, for 2 days, 2 travel days. And then get here.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, thank God. Let me look at these blouses first. And
she probably came to America with the goal of pissing in a Calvin Klein dressing room.
I'm not a world traveler, so I don't know what other people's plumbing conditions are.
I'm pretty sure most people have toilets.
I would assume so.
If not, we should bring toilets to other countries.
Yeah, that could be my job.
It's your career.
Here, not here.
You have a mission, and it's to bring toilets to Slovakia.
to the Slavics. Yeah, she pissed in the dressing room and then left. And she was like, they still came out and browsed around like she had done absolutely nothing.
Is this normal behavior in Slovakia?
I don't know, but it's not in the goddamn Woodbury Commons. Not on my watch.
It probably is more normal than you think. There's probably so many stories of things going on.
Terrible things.
These dressing rooms?
Yeah, terrible things. People leaving sanitary napkins.
In the dressing room?
Yeah.
Do these people never hear of a bathroom?
I don't know. They're fucking animals. This is why I can't really be around people that much. Because they disgust me.
They just randomly piss.
Because I imagine everywhere, you're either going to a jerk-off party or leaving a tampon in a dressing room. It's slobs. This is what I think. I've actually been on a bus, and in a bus, saw a used condom under the seat. And it wasn't even in the back seat. It was like...
in the front seat?
It was like 9 seats back.
Ah.
Somebody got it on and then just left it on the floor.
I do see condoms in some very random places. Like I go by my office, there's this place I go for a walk in the park all the time.
Penetration Park?
I guess so. And I always randomly see condoms there.
Yeah.
But it's like in weird places, like
Yeah.
on the walkway.
Yeah.
Like it's not like under a tree or something.
I do under a tree, under the lovemaking tree.
You would think you'd like hide somewhere.
No.
It's like, oh, this is right in the middle of the walkway. What they do, set up a blanket and just go at it?
A cloak. A ganga.
A cloak.
They were under a ganga on the walkway.
So the Asian story with Costco, I think I was getting back at Asians in general. Because I had a bad experience with Asians once. And listen, I'm no racist. Or ethnicist.
You sound like a racist right now. I'm just happy that you brought up another race to bitch about before I did, so that you'll be...
Listen, there's the goods and the bads of every race, but
That's true.
I've had some weird things happen with Asians, and one of which was I'm a golfer.
That's surprising.
I like to play golf. I play at least once a week. Mm-hmm. And a couple years ago, I went to a driving range in New York. And I'm walking, with my bag on, big golf bag with all my golf accoutrements in it.
Right.
With a couple of my friends. So, in order to get up to where you hit the balls, it's like one step up. And you would think a normal person could take that step without falling down.
A normal person.
So, I go to take a step up, and all of a sudden I lose my balance. And because my bag is on, I start falling backwards. So, I'm stepping up onto this golf range. I start falling backwards, and one of my friends explains it as the slowest fall he's ever seen in his entire life, with just my arms going backwards like the Matrix. Like you didn't even understand how somebody could fall this slowly. So I'm falling backwards ridiculously with my bag pulling me down. I kind of hit my head on this bench thing behind me.
Oh my god, this sounds awesome.
My friends are laughing, right? And all of a sudden, another gaggle of Asians, might have been the same ones as from Costco,
Right.
come and walk right over me. It's like 5, 6 of them with golf bags on. No regard for the fact that I'm laying on the floor.
They hit you in the face with their bags.
And they just each go, whoop, walk over me. And then that's the end of the story. I'm laying there, bewildered.
Right.
At how people can walk over me when I'm laying on the floor and laughing. I'm actually laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, what world do I live in?
Listen, you live in this world. One of my ex-husbands is a New York City firefighter. He's also a first responder. Very, very noble, underpaid job. He tells me stories about how he's right in Manhattan. He's right down in the middle of everything. Not a lot of fires.
NYFD.
And FDNY.
FDNY.
Yeah.
Why do they change it? NYPD, FDNY? Why can't they do NYFD?
I don't know.
They really want to confuse people.
Let's do that from now on.
NYFD.
Yeah.
Why can't we just keep
the fire department in New York? Anyway, he's right down there, right in the middle of everything.
It's I came up with a great name.
Listen to this.
FDNY. It's kind of like the NYPD,
but not
in the same order.
He tells me the stories about even when we were married. He's mostly a first responder. There's not a lot of fires down there, but the stuff that they show up to is pretty horrendous, horrible shit. A lot of it involves homeless people. Having heart attacks, killing each other, shoving each other in front of subways, falling off subway platforms in front of the subways and getting killed or whatever.
Why does the FDNY come for that?
They're first responders. I don't know why they send these fucking goons down there they're like watching a football game at the firehouse and they get called to go scrape somebody's body off.
I guess they have the water. I don't know.
I don't know why they show up. They're not on fire. They jumped out of a building. So he has actually been in the street giving someone CPR and had people walk over this dead person's body. Just step over him. Like, not even look down to be
Same
like,
situation.
What is this fucking person? It's a dead person with a giant fireman on top of him giving him like chest compressions.
Get out of my way.
Sorry, he's in your way. And they're like, looking. He did tell me a story once about a homeless woman.
Welcome to New York.
Yeah, who was pissing on the tracks and got hit by a train. She couldn't get up. Her pants were down around her ankles. She couldn't get up, right? I shouldn't laugh, but I mean, it's a homeless person, so who cares, right?
They're not real people anyway.
They're not real. The train hit her and took the top of her head off. And he was holding the top of her head on. She was clearly dead. Her pants are around her dirty fucking homeless ankles. Hairy everything. Shit and pissed herself. And he heard somebody behind him say, "Fuck, now I'm going to be late for work."
That's New York.
Yeah.
That's where we live.
That's what I know. God bless America.
America. Can you believe that we've actually done an hour?
That's it?
We've done an hour.
I'm exhausted.
This is the first podcast of the Things We Dread podcast. And I don't know why I keep saying podcast, but I like the word podcast, apparently.
They know. If they're listening to it, they know.
They do.
It's a podcast.
All right, so it's thingswedread.com. That's where you're going to see this podcast, and the reason you're hearing it is probably because you're already on thingswedread.com.
Right.
But what you need to do is share this with other people. Because we don't want to do this for nobody.
I'd do it just for you, though.
All right.
I would. I mean, I don't want to, but I would.
We
if I had
like an audience, and we want you to share this around to everybody you know. We want to get people listening, commenting. So if you heard something that was ridiculous on this show, something you didn't agree with, something you agreed with, sound off in the comments, write about it on Facebook, share this thing around the world.
And we'll tell you why you're wrong.
Yes. If you have a topic that annoys you, I've already been getting texts. I told some people that we were doing the show. People are telling me things that annoy them.
That would be great because I'm being the master bitcher that I am. If it annoys another human being, I'll figure out a way for it to annoy me.
Exactly. So we will be back probably in about 2 weeks with the second episode of Things We Dread. Mm-hmm. And we're hoping to have a little bit of a bigger audience that time around since this is our inaugural run. Right, we're hoping this gets around the net in the next 2 weeks. Some people listen to a comment, give us some support. All we're asking for is for your support.
Little
An
bit
hour
of, support,
of your time.
Right?
Add us to your podcast feeds. Look for us on iTunes. We're not there yet, but we'll be there. Go to thingswedread.com. Bookmark this thing.
Bookmark it. Talk about us on Facebook. Talk about us to your parents, your friends.
Tell your kids about us.
Tell everybody. Tell everyone.
Don't forget me. I'm the B-Man. This is my friend
Bom'Chelle.
And we'll be back with another episode of Things We Dread in not too long. Thanks for listening. We will catch you soon. Signing out.
Have a good night.
Peace.